Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Tuesday, the 27th of June, 2023. Of course, I'm Phil, and I welcome you here to the recap show. Today, I had almost nothing to talk about on the podcast. Admittedly, after an extended week of streaming here, you're kind of run out of topics, especially when not a lot is going on in the realm of game news. So today we recapped my performance in Street Fighter 6, including my really great session of Zangief yesterday, as well as got everyone caught up with my progress in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And then we opened it up to a lot of Q&A, which was most of the show. So give it a look if you're interested in that. First stream today was the continuation of Final Fantasy 16. Now, I was excited to play the game because the last time that I had played it, the final half hour, the game had opened up and felt like classic Final Fantasy. You had an area with some exploration areas with optional fights, some mini-boss style enemies that were tankish, some optional loot and stuff to find. And I was like, this is cool. This feels like the exploration of Final Fantasy that we know of. It's not just a linear area. So I enjoyed it, and we cleared out that first area in about a half an hour, and then we got to a town, and the town had a lot of dialogue. Then we got to another area with a lot of dialogue, and then we got to the next area that had dialogue, and then there was dialogue, and then they said, oh, there's a couple side quests. So I did a couple side quests, and then there was dialogue. So I'm not kidding you. Today's stream, the first half hour was good. Then there was 2 straight hours of boredom. It was some of the worst writing ever. It was all filler. It was like you're going back to the original towns where you grew up in, and you're talking with the townspeople who have no significance on the plot whatsoever. It's just time killer stuff. It was incredibly boring. I couldn't believe it. My audience couldn't believe it. We're like, so after that slow start with all those cutscenes, you're just going to give us another 2 hours of cutscenes? And the answer was yes. It was almost all cutscenes. What is going on with this game? All right? But then after we got past that segment, the final half hour of today's Final Fantasy 16 stream was actually very good because you finally returned back to that area from the beginning of the game called the Phoenix Gate. There's a dungeon there. You go through the dungeon. You fight new unique enemies. At the end, there's a boss. Then it leads to giant plot developments and double boss fight. So basically the last 30 minutes of the stream was high octane fun with big plot developments and really good stuff. Why couldn't we just do that? Why did the game have 2 hours of padded filler that literally added nothing? I don't get it. It's funny because I'm now 11 hours into Final Fantasy 16. And although I don't hate the game, I don't get how someone is rating this game like 9 or 10 out of 10 like a lot of these fucking mainstream reviewers did. The game has concrete issues. The pacing is god-awful. The cutscenes are way too long. Everyone is too long-winded in everything they have to say. And the game keeps putting you against these linear areas you can't just, speed by. And they're boring as dirt. What the hell? It's 2023 and a person who's making a video game doesn't know how to write a narrative video game yet? I could have written better. It's called cut out the fat, cut out the filler. Go to the important parts that are interesting. Stop putting in junk that puts you to sleep. I don't know. I'm at a loss because my audience felt the same. It wasn't just me. We were all sitting there like, we can't believe that this game is so boring right now. And then it would get to the good part. Like, oh my God, this is great. Why the fuck did we waste 2 hours on today's stream with bullshit? So right now, Final Fantasy 16, is a mixed bag. Moving forward, we'll see how it goes. But the thing is, I'm not playing it again until Monday. Why so long? Well, tomorrow it's Street Fighter. I'm off on Thursday. Friday, we always do Street Fighter all day. It's Street Fighter Fridays. Saturday is React Day. And Sunday is my special summer marathon, the Digital Summer Party. So I'm literally not touching this game again until Monday. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I just unlocked brand new abilities and stuff. So when we play it on Monday, hopefully we'll approach it with a fresh perspective. We'll be wanting to play it because it'll have been so long, and hopefully it'll be good, and they won't give us crappy, boring filler. I hope. Really, because it's hard. I'll tell you right now, out of all the games I'm playing, and I wish I was exaggerating, there's the least attendees, least viewership for Final Fantasy 16. People got so turned off by the incredible amount of cutscenes at the beginning of the game, they're not interested in coming back. That's not my fault. And people have outright said, no, it's not your fault. Like, we were interested. We watched your first few parts. It's boring. We don't want to watch it. We'll watch your other streams. I'm getting more attendance and support and other things for games like Diablo and Zelda. Now, today was the exception. We had one person come by who tipped a ton because they were a big fan and they wanted to support. And I was like, thank you. But that's the exception. Outside of that, yeah, Final Fantasy 16 has lost interest in just 3 streams. 3 days of streaming it already. That's horrible. So I hope this game picks up in a big way and we can get interest back because If they keep interjecting hours and hours of boring cutscene bullshit, I can't blame people for not wanting to be around for it, you know? I hope it gets better. Anyway, on the late stream tonight, it was Diablo 3, and we continued on with the story progression. All the advice I seem to be getting from people who've played this game or get through the story. You want to get through the story because the further you get in the story, you get advancements. Like you get your mount, and then you get other things. And then by the end of the story, it makes more sense then to try to go do more meaningful side content and post-game content. So that's what I've been doing the last few streams. And today, we made ginormous progress. I beat Act 3. That's actually where we ended tonight's stream. Great, interesting boss fights. We had some really challenging ones. One of them did beat me with like one hit, and then I had to change my strategy, and I was able to go back and actually tackle them the second time and beat them, which was good. But challenging stuff, interesting plot developments for sure. And my build has changed a little bit. I actually got a few different new upgrades. I got a better like passive ability that's really good. And man, my ice abilities now are really, really powerful, which is excellent how powerful they are. And then, at the end, since I beat Act 3, we got them out. So, mission accomplished. So, my advice that people I keep giving me is keep doing the story. You're going to enjoy the story. Keep going with that. You'll keep leveling up naturally. So, that's what I'm going to do. Right now, my build is sound for the Sorcerer, and it keeps improving based on advice I get from the viewers. And I see no reason to go off and do repetitive side content at this point when we're going such great progress into the story. So, it's probably what I'll continue to do. So, today overall, a half an hour of progress into Final Fantasy 16 out of a 3-hour stream because the game is paced so poorly and wastes your time with boring shit. But I'm hoping that next time around it's better because we did just get to a point where we unlocked a lot of new stuff. Diablo, great progress tonight. Finished Act 3, got them out, and we're poised for great progression and fun on the next stream. So, an interesting day. It was an RPG day all day long, and interesting how each game progressed a little differently, right? All right. Tomorrow is my final consecutive streaming day of the week, Wednesday the 28th, that is. So what are we doing? Well, a level 1 podcast in the morning, and then the first stream will be Street Fighter 6, and I've decided I will play Blanca, and I will attempt to get Blanca to diamond level. The last time around, we got him from 4-star to 5-star platinum, and a little chunk into the 5-star platinum. So he has a little bit of a head start. In 3 hours of gameplay tomorrow, I'm really hoping I'll do well and at least win more than I lose to the point where we'll constantly be gaining ranks. And hopefully by the end of tomorrow's 3-hour stream, I will get Blanca to diamond. And that will be my first truly earned diamond. You might say, what does that mean? Well, my E Honda is ranked diamond, but it's really stupid how he got there. It was only like the second day the game was out. If that, it might have been like the night the game was out. On the late stream that I picked him. And I went into my ranked placements, and I just won a bunch of matches. No one knew what was going on in the game at that point. No one even knew how to fight Honda. So I beat a bunch of people, and they're like, oh, you're diamond. And I'm like, huh? So then I proceeded to play and get my ass whooped by everyone because I didn't even know what I was doing. And, I didn't know how to play the character. And I was just getting whooped left, right, up, and down because I was in a higher rank than I probably should have been placed in, right? If I were to play Honda right now, I'd probably lose every stinking match because I don't even know how to use him, all right? So I don't count that as a legit placing. I think that was just dumb luck playing the game on launch day. But using Blanca, I have, clawed my way from lower platinum ranks all the way through, and I'm at that point where it looks like we're going to hit diamond. I hope we can do it tomorrow. In fact, tonight I will watch more videos on YouTube. I'll see what people have been up with in Blanca in the last few days, try to find more gameplay, more tech to watch, and see what I can learn from watching it. So, tomorrow is the day of Blanca for Street Fighter 6. And then tomorrow night's late stream will be Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We just unlocked the Lightning Palace in the Gerudo Desert. That's what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to head into this palace and hopefully beat this dungeon and finish it up. And that'll actually unlock kind of endgame content. The 5th dungeon, which is the big major one, will be unlocked to advance the story. So I hope that we can do that maybe tomorrow night. All right? And that's it. I'm off on Thursday. Friday will be Street Fighter Friday. Street Fighter 6 all day long. A new character on the first stream. And then going back and playing characters I already know how to use on the late stream. I will say this. We're in the finale of the month. Tomorrow and Friday are my last 2 streaming days of June. If you like the content this month, I would ask a favor. If you're going to support my channels, please do it in the next 2 days. And when I mean that, I mean things on the YouTube side. For example, like super chats, memberships, or gifted memberships. I've definitely seen a decline in these in the last couple of weeks. Tips have been great, but I've noticed a decline on the YouTube side support. That's critical stuff. That's stuff that every month I depend on. I get paid behind the scenes by YouTube once a month, And basically anything I make in the next 2 streaming days will count for July. I'll get paid for that in July. And sadly, we just lost, like, no exaggeration, 270 plus memberships. These were memberships that were gifted last month. People have not renewed them. And because of that, it looks like I'm going to get a big dip in income in July, unless we do get a few people who come and maybe say, hey, I want to up my membership, or hey, I'd like to support the channel, I'd like to gift a membership. So if you were thinking of helping out right now, that would be a great way to do it. And I know, listen, there's a marathon coming up on Sunday. A lot of people wait to the marathons to do the support. If you want to, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. I'm just saying it would be great in the next couple of days to get a little bit of rallying of support for the end of the month, so that next month I'm not kind of behind on everything because we had a big dip in gifted subs, okay? Not demanding anything, just throwing the idea out there for those who are thinking of maybe helping out in the next few days. All right, guys? Thank you all. Please have a good night. I hope to see you tomorrow for a fun session of Street Fighter and, of course, more progress in Zelda to end our streaming week. Peace out and have a good night. See you in the morning. Later.